this is how it turned out. Here's the inside of it. It's all looking pretty neat. Here's the front. We have the sides here. It turned out fine. The only problem that I was sort of expecting to have as well is that it is a bit skewed on the sides. I don't know if the camera shows it. It's pretty noticeable here that it kind of goes up here on the edges here. But it's not like a game-breaking level of skewness. It's not going to affect the... I'll be able to get all the electronics in there, and also, fortunately, it kind of skewed the same amount on both corners. So it almost looks like a design choice. Definitely good enough to work for, at least in the prototyping stages of Edmund. And then I might remake it later. This is a finalized version of the base. This one is working just fine for the servo and everything. Everything fits as it should. So, you know, we have the entire bottom of the robot done. And also this piece. This is the rotor beam that I was working on the other day that will connect us to the base. And that one works fine as well. So we made some headway in terms of printing things for sure. So today we're going to be working on the legs, and we're going to start working on the gimbal for the servo motors to control the head. So we are making good headway here. One thing I'm going to do before I start working on the servos is I'm going to replace these to something else. My original plan was to have 3 regular sized 180 degree servos to control Edmund. Then I realized that I'm an idiot. These 2 servos right here can be micro servos instead, leaving us much more space to work with the head and so on, and make it lighter. So putting these 2 here was a dumb idea, so I'm going to replace them with micro servos. I've imported some files here from the ARC software. These are not my files, these are the property of EC Robot. And what they are is they are parts for the JD robot's neck. Now we're not going to build that kind of neck precisely, but what we do want from this is the dimensions here for the micro servo, which is this little guy here, I believe. Yes. We're going to use these as a bit of a reference while we do our design. Quality stream, guys. I'm not visible, the robot is not visible. The only thing visible is my messy workspace. Not even that is very visible. It's very much like a brainstorming stream for me now, where I'm kind of trying to come up with how to build this thing rather than build it. So you'll excuse me if I'm very scatter-minded. I mean, I have ideas. You know, I definitely have ideas. It's just I haven't completely figured it out yet, so that's the first level of rotation. This method changes the orientation of the servo. Instead of being sideways like that, giving it a lot of range and stability, in my opinion, it would be facing more like so and going back and forth there. And this caused problems. Dorian had the same design for his head. It causes problems because the moment you start to look backwards with this one would be this way. You see, you don't get a lot of movements before it sticks into the very servo. It hits into it right away. I would like for Edmund to have a little bit more movement back and forth, so to speak. The good part about this is that the servo would be more centered in the head, whereas my method, if it's like this, it would be more on the side of the head, which is not as ideal. So, you know, there's good and bad things to take into account. So this is the last big part of the robot. This is like, I mean, the gimbal right here is the most difficult part, because we need to have 2 servos sort of connected, moving different directions, and give it a nice smooth movement for the head. Welcome to the Sunday stream. We are going to continue working on the servo gimbal, or the neck gimbal, as I've decided I'm going to call it from now on. And The good thing today is that I have at least some idea of what I'm going to be doing. Yesterday it was all just brainstorming, thinking about how we're going to do this. Today we have at least a bit of a roadmap to follow, but also probably some concept work. My goal is to get far enough to be able to print something out of the stuff we make today, either as a test print or maybe even a complete piece, and just hope that it will work on the first try. So we'll see how far we get. So what we're gonna do is that we're gonna make it so the legs have the screw part, and then we have nut connectors on the lid. So no screws or anything needed for the legs. You just screw them into the lid. Nice and easy. Very beginner friendly. If some, because I mentioned before, I will make Edmund available for people to download, and if someone who's kind of new to robotics wants to put together one of these robots, it's going to be really simple for them. So yeah, COVID is pretty boring, I must say. I do feel like I've had enough of it. I was very strangely unaffected when this whole thing started. Probably because I wasn't really I'm not really the most outgoing person anyway in the first place. But I am getting a little bit sick of it, to be honest. Feed dog. Maze Monkey is demanding that a treat is delivered to the dog. I stole Sydney's dog. Yes, I did, and I would do it again. You know, I'm kind of ahead of you, Maze Monkey. You'll never believe it, because I can't prove it, but I was going to feed him regardless of your command or not. Försiktigt. Försiktigt. Varsågod. You know what? You've been good today, so you'll get 2 of them. There you go. Fatten you up. Huh? What say you guys? This is looking pretty decent, honestly. We would have this one mounted on top here. And we know this is centered with the gear at the very center point of the legs. And we have it tilted back because we want to have some back weight, because the camera and the eye mounts and everything is going to be on the front of the head. So we're trying to balance as best we can. We're getting close to the finish line. I do think we can have Edmund done in definitely in 2 weeks from now, but hopefully a bit sooner. We'll really try, because I want to get Edmund up and running so I can start working on Dorian and some other projects, and I can't wait to have him uploaded on Synthium and all of these other forums as well. So thank you very much for watching this Sunday stream with me. I hope you enjoyed it. I've had a pretty good time. And yes, have a nice continuation of your evening or morning or whatever time it is for you. And hopefully I'll see you next weekend. So take care everyone, stay safe, wash your hands, and I'll see you next time. Bye.